Hello, world. Welcome to episode 131 of the Jimmy Canz Show. It is prediction time. WWE Backlash this Saturday from the Coliseo de Puerto Rico Jose Miguel Argola in San Juan, Puerto Rico. First pay-per-view in Puerto Rico in, 2005, I think, or I don't know, a long time. Rodney unfortunately cannot be with me for this prediction show, but I do have his picks. So I'll be saying what those are. And let's get into it. 7 matches. We'll kick it off with the Raw Women's Championship. The EST, Bianca Belair, taking on from Damage Control, the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky, who will have Bailey and Dakota out there with her. Real quick side note, all 4 of these competitors were recently drafted to SmackDown. So what's going to happen here with championship, we'll have to wait and see. Personally, I think they would be best suited to just rechristen these women's titles and the tag titles for that matter, if they want to split them up or whatever, or if they want to create new tag titles again, now that they're kind of reinforcing the brand split. I mean, why the women's titles and the tag titles are the only ones that are specifically associated with the brand in terms of nomenclature makes very little sense to me. Just leads to situations like this when people are drafted to the other show. Makes things convoluted. I mean, the men's titles, the Universal and the World title can go float between shows. Same thing with the US and Intercontinental, can float between shows without confusion. So I just think it's time to rechristen these titles rather than, have people exchange titles after a draft. But I digress. I'll get off my soapbox now. I'm going to say that Bianca retains here, and hopefully they just rechristen the title. Rodney is in agreement with me on this one, so there you have that. Next up, 6-man tag team action. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn and the prize fighter Kevin Owens, joined by the original Bro Matt Riddle, to take on the Bloodline, represented by that street champion Solo Sikoa and Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and they will be accompanied by the wise man, the special counsel, Paul Heyman. Again, this is another situation post-draft. Riddle and KO and Sammy be headed over to Raw. Bloodline all staying on SmackDown. No titles on the line here. But this should be like the last confrontation here between these 6 individuals for a while, if they truly do keep the brand split enforced. So for this one, Rodney is going with the baby faces. He's got Riddle and the tag champs, picking this one up. I am going to go with the Bloodline. I know they've been teasing dissension, their unhappiness from Roman with the Usos and their lack of recent success. I do still see the Bloodline picking up the win here, and then I think Solo, does something post-match to Jimmy and Jay if they are going to actually, orchestrate a break here. Personally, I don't understand why you would keep everybody on the same brand if you were just going to dissolve it. But there you have that. Next up, grudge match of grudge matches. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes looks for redemption against the alpha male of our species, the beast incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. Cody staying on Raw. Brock will be a free agent and appear wherever and whenever he wants. um, so, I mean, I know he just lost at Mania and everything, but I got a gut feeling we're not done with this feud for a little while, especially now with Cody and Roman being on separate brands. So I've got Brock winning here, and Rodney is in agreement with me. Next up, a match for the sake of a match, I guess. Seth freaking Rollins taking on the Nigerian giant Omos with MVP because, reasons. Seth staying on Raw. Omos has become a free agent. So exactly what that's going to mean, don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Rodney is taking Seth. I too am taking Seth, but I just want to say at this point, why should anyone with an actual entrance fear Omos? He loses to anyone that is an enhancement talent, it seems, anymore. You've got this spectacle in this 7 foot, 4-inch behemoth, but he always loses. I mean, I just don't get it. If you want him to be that attraction, he's going to have some longevity in terms of wins against credible opposition, so that when someone topples him, it means something. I mean, everybody's beating him. So, whatever. But, we're both going with the visionary. Next up for the United States Championship in a triple threat, the almighty Bobby Lashley and the colossal Bronson Reed both challenge All Day Austin Theory in a triple threat. Lashley and Theory both recently drafted to SmackDown. Bronson staying on Raw. For that reason, I don't see Reed winning this. Neither does Rodney. It's going with Austin Theory to retain, and I'm agreeing with him. So, I mean, either way, it's going to be Theory or Lashley. Obviously, the winner is going to be on SmackDown with Gunther and the rest of Imperium recently being drafted over to Raw. They're not going to have both men's mid-card championships on the same brand. SmackDown Women's title on the line. Zelina Vega repping the LWO takes on the Nightmare Rhea Bloody Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title. Again, Rhea drafted, to Raw as the SmackDown champion. Zelina is part of the LWO staying on SmackDown. So, I mean, they could pull a fast one here, but then you'd have both women's titles on the same show. That's very unlikely. Rod and I are in agreement on this one again. Rhea will retain, but honestly, I'm just hoping that we get a rebranding of these titles. Give us a rebranding, maybe give us some slight design tweaks, take the red and blue out of the championships, and do something else with them in terms of design. Just makes most sense in my opinion. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into the final match, which I putting in here as the likely main event due to the Bad Bunny involvement, as Bad Bunny returns to the ring in his native Puerto Rico to face the Judgment Day's Punisher and one Damian Priest. Will Damian have the rest of Judgment Day out there with him? Will Bad Bunny have the rest, or not the rest, but will have Bad Bunny have the LWO out there with him? No indications at this point. It's a street fight, so chaos will likely ensue. Um, I'm gonna say Bunny here. I think you'd have an absolute riot in the streets in San Juan if he loses this. Not to mention celebrities and rare appearances, especially one that has put in the time and effort like Bunny has, but is not signed to an actual contract like a Logan Paul. Tend to get the wins. Rodney is actually going with Priest in this one, so I guess he's got the Judgment Day being the differential here. But I think Bunny equalizes things with some LWO intervention as well. So our differences in this one. He's going with Sammy, KO, and Riddle, and I'm going with the Bloodline, and he's going with Priest, and I'm going with Bunny. So only two differences on the night. Come back. Hopefully Rodney will be feeling better and able to join us at the end of the month when we do predictions for Night of Champions, where we will crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So give us your comments and your picks down below. Play along with us. And wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Take care of one another. See you when I see you.